just to run everyone through the latest that we know, he's not on the pre-season tour, hasn't been a part of the pre-season training either. This was put down to family and personal reasons. But United have flown out to Thailand and they'll be heading on to Australia, and as things stand, there will be no Cristiano Ronaldo. The club maintain he's not for sale, but there has been interest from Chelsea and Napoli, so we believe. Cass, what do you think? What Trevor Sinclair there said, he doesn't blame Ronaldo wanting to leave Old Trafford because he feels, for what Trevor thinks, is that they are not matching his own ambitions.
Yeah, okay, and I get what Trevor's saying, and I think, of course, there's an element of Ronaldo has always done things his way, and it's made him a very successful player, which has also made the team very successful that he's played for. The one thing I don't get in this, if Ronaldo so quickly after 1 year wants to go, why did you sign a 2-year deal?
Yeah, with an option.
With an option. You know, why did you just say, look, I'm Cristiano Ronaldo, money is important, but he's obviously a super wealthy man, that I'll sign a 1-year deal, and if this season goes well, I'll sign another 1-year deal for you. But that wasn't the option. It was a 2-year deal. Well, if we're led to believe that he wants out of Old Trafford, why did you sign a 2-year deal? I don't get that. That doesn't make sense to me. Because he was 36, 37 when he signed that 2-year deal? You could have quite easily said, no, let's just make it a 1-year deal. Chelsea make it quite clearly at Chelsea Football Club, certainly under Abramovich's time there, and every deal over 32 was a 1-year deal for everybody, a roll-on 1-year deal. Ronaldo didn't have to sign a 2-year deal. He could have just gone from Juve to Man United, and okay, the fee might have not been quite the same, but don't demand a 2-year deal. Say, I'll do a year, and I promise you, if this season goes well for you and me, I will sign another 1-year deal to stay at Old Trafford.
Okay, but as it is, as you rightly say, he signed a 2-year deal with a possibility of an option. He doesn't want to be there by all accounts because they're not offering him Champions League football. That's what he wants to be playing, that wants to still be playing at the highest level. Erik ten Hag, is this a situation that he... what am I trying to say? In some ways, when you have a player like Cristiano Ronaldo, who is his own man...
Well, he's bigger than everybody at United.
He's his own man. Is it, in a way, is this a good thing that Erik ten Hag might go, do you know what? I don't need this. I don't need this ego. I'm trying to rebuild a club from the bottom up and trying to establish them back to the great that they once were. Is this, in a way, a situation that Erik ten Hag can just go, do you know what, I don't need you. I need someone who's committed, who wants to be here, who wants, because as much as Manchester United is saying he's not for sale, this is causing a problem that Ten Hag doesn't need when he's starting from scratch.
See, when he went to United, I thought it was a great deal for him and Manchester United. I thought, yeah, that's a good idea. They're trying to change their fortunes as a football club. Now, they've had a very difficult year. If you want someone to show real leadership qualities and go, look, I've got my own individual awards. I've won Ballon d'Or a number of times. I am chasing more goals in the Champions League. But I tell you what, that means nothing in comparison with making this club great again. That was the idea behind him coming to Manchester United. Make this club great again. Now, if I need to be part of that, the process... I might not be there and win things, but I want to be part of the process to make this club great again. I thought that was his duty at Man United. He going back there, which was a big move for him, I thought it was all about changing the fortunes of the football club. Not whether he gets 25 goals, and obviously last year he got into the 20s, which was great, but the team suffered. And I thought, and I said it a couple of weeks ago, you do owe it to Manchester United to stay. If you were committed to a 2-year deal, you said you'll stay for 2 years, going after one and wanting out the door, if that's what we're led to believe is happening, I think Ronaldo's wrong on that. I don't think he's got a divine right to just go, well, I'm a great player, I want to beat Champions League goal scoring records, I want to do this. Well, no, this time, first time in your career, it's not about you. It's about the club you've signed for being great again.
I mentioned Napoli and Chelsea are two teams interested in him. Can you see him staying in the Premier League but playing for Chelsea?
Well, there ain't many clubs in the world that can take him because he's on such high wages and he wants to be Champions League player. So Can I see him going there? I think, obviously, a new takeover at Chelsea, and they want to make some big things happen at the club. And I was looking at numbers in midweek with Lionel Messi going to PSG. The club earned 700 million euros last year, and their TV revenue was 56 million. Right, so Lionel Messi comes with really paying his own bills, and I think Ronaldo would probably do that if he went to Chelsea. And I did hear Stuart and Trevor talk yesterday about Ronaldo and his feats, and I didn't agree that he wouldn't be a good fit. I think he would be, Nat, because everywhere he's played, he's been a good fit. He's got goals at international level. Got for Sporting Lisbon. He's got goals for Man United. He's got goals for Real Madrid, Juventus. He'll get goals anywhere. Chelsea's biggest failings is not being clinical in front of goal. Lukaku wasn't, and Timo Werner wasn't. Ronaldo's clinical. That's one thing he is. So if you give him chances, why wouldn't he score goals at Chelsea? You know, they don't need him. They have wide players that can do a lot of the ugly jobs. They have all that at Chelsea. If they want a clinical finisher, and he is one, he hasn't lost that, and we saw that last season.
So in that respect, is it a bit of a no-brainer that you'd be thinking,
I think he'd do really well there. I think it's actually won the clubs. I think he wouldn't have the demands of doing more in the pressing, and the team is set up really to be a counter-attack style team, but they create chances, and when they do, he's a clinical finisher. He's always been that.
Can you see Sterling and Ronaldo then working together?
Yeah, well, they certainly,
I'm saying that
absolutely
in a quite an exciting way.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Ronaldo wouldn't have to do some of the other things that supposedly he's meant to have to do at Old Trafford, because I didn't buy into that. I always thought his duty would be, as a 37-year-old, is to say, just you make the ball go elsewhere. You don't have to chase around and press and get, make tackles. You've never really done that in your career. Just make yourself that the ball goes somewhere else in the pitch. And then our energy of younger players and legs can get there and will then rob the ball. But I don't want you chasing everything. I thought that was just a crazy idea. You know, you don't have to. Closing down can be done by being in position, just positional closing down. You don't have to literally get to every player in every part of the pitch. We did that with Ireland, going back 30 years ago. I wasn't told to chase around. I was basically told, be in a position to make the ball go elsewhere.
Yeah, be effective in the role that you've been brought in to do.
Club's talked about this.
Yeah.
He's talked about closing down. And so if you're in the right positions, you don't have to do as much running.
It's sort of, when you're talking about it like this, it seems sort of logical that Todd Bowley would be looking into bringing Cristiano Ronaldo.
Well, the numbers financially work.
Yeah.
And, Chelsea are a very global club now. I don't see it as an issue. The reason why I'm saying that, I've had a bit of disappointment in the way that Ronaldo's thought more of him than the first time in his career. I felt he had to think differently.
Is that off-putting or not? Because you know what you're going to get, because he wants to play in the Champions League. So actually going to a Chelsea who are playing in the elite level of European competition, he's going to hopefully deliver, because that's what he tends to do.
Well, he will deliver. There hasn't been a period of his career that he hasn't delivered. So it's nearly a guarantee, and there isn't not many guarantees in any sport. But he's as close as a guarantee as anybody, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of a club or international where he's... I watched him against Ireland turn the game around, where literally Ireland were winning and Ronaldo steps up and it's 2-1 before you know it. And he's done that all his career. And he's got goals out of crazy scenarios. He's not going to not score for Chelsea if he went there. He will fit.